craziest confrontations on court cam.
I have no regrets. Killing that pedophile was the best day of my life.
Do you have anything to say to the victim's family?
May they die also.
Not all superheroes, they say, wear capes, and if you thought vigilantes only existed in the movies, you thought wrong. Mr. and Mrs. Woody from South Carolina are examples of why being a vigilante and taking laws into your own hands is terrible in the real world. The self-made hero and his sidekick are in the Union County Courthouse to see if they can be pardoned for the inconceivable crime of killing Charles and Gretchen Parker.
Please have mercy on Christine and I so we can still have a chance to grow old together as husband and wife.
The Bible clearly states thou shalt not kill. I'm sorry I broke that commandment.
Apparently, the couple found Mr. Parker's address in a sex offender registry and have been stalking him. They believe God had put them in the world to offer swift, biased justice to sex offenders. They think that sex offenders don't deserve a second chance. After finding out where Mr. Parker and his family stayed, they went to pay him an uncanny visit with their little band of fellow vigilantes. The damning CCTV tape, which clearly showed Mr. Moody's unmistakable tattoos, was all that was needed to nail the couple for the heinous crime of killing Mr. Parker and his wife in cold blood. As the trial unfolded, the pair admitted to their crimes, even brazenly sharing their chilling plans to target more sex offenders. Surprisingly, the once brazen couple pleaded guilty, expressing remorse and hoping for a lenient sentence of just 30 years. Their reasoning? They believe that the agony of being separated from each other was punishment enough to inspire a fresh start.
Your Honor, please see it fit that Jeremy and I are sentenced to the same sentence of 30 years. Never kissing my husband or feeling his touch again is my very worst nightmare.
After that, the courtroom is lulled as they await the sentencing of this foolhardy couple. After receiving the sentence and sharing a poignant goodbye kiss, they are separated and spend their last few free moments with their family. However, their demeanor suddenly changed from remorseful to defiant.
I think it is a case that justice demands a life sentence. Pervert later. That's what child molesters get.
I think Jeremy and I would have done it again if given the opportunity. I have no regrets. Killing that pedophile was the best day of my life.
Talk about being unrepentant, vile people. Next on the docket is Cyrus Matthews, facing misdemeanor charges stemming from a road rage incident.
I'm sorry for acting immature on the road. I understand that being on the road, you do have other people's lives in your hand. Is there any way that we can reverse this jail time?
Well, you're going to go to jail today. If you need to get out, you're attending hearings, we can consider furloughs.
If only Mr. Matthews had left it at that. It turns out Mr. Matthews wasn't expecting a road rage incident to lead him to getting jail time, so rather than appeal the sentence or plead to the judge's sense of humanity, he quite literally took the law into his legs and made a run for it.
Matthew's girlfriend follows him.
However, not before heeding the desperate pleas of his counsel and girlfriend, who urge him to reconsider his rash decision. Ignoring his counsel's warnings against escalating to felony charges, the defendant flees the courtroom with his girlfriend in tow. As they disappear into the chaos of the streets, the situation takes a turn for the worse as law enforcement is alerted to his reckless actions. Due to Mr. Matthews' sizable head start, the police needed help from dispatch to trail him. However, his case was about to take yet another darker turn. He had crashed into an SUV containing a couple and their infant child. Luckily, they didn't sustain any life-threatening injuries, and the medics were on the ground to attend to the minor injuries they sustained.
I saw him turn north onto Lyman from Maple. He was in an older gray four-door vehicle.
My speed's 90, trying to catch up. We're gonna have a code 2 at Akron, 76. Where's he at? Here. Ashley, help them get out! Help them get out! He's up here! Watchers, I'm gonna need multiple squads.
No, I need help, sir.
Okay.
Okay, they're tight.
Mr. Matthews and his loving girlfriend were just as lucky, but something worse would await him in the court. By the time he was finally arrested, he was charged with aggravated felonious assault and was sentenced to 425 days for this horrible, horrible decision. I bet the whole scenario played out differently in his head. His girlfriend wasn't charged. Often, either the plaintiff or the defendant is guilty of acting irrationally in the courthouse, but the Moore Justice Center in Florida experienced nothing short of shocking when the public defender locked horns with the judge.
Public defender, what do you want to do?
But they filed?
They have.
I'm not waiving.
All right, what do you want to do?
What do you want to do? I'm not waiving. You want to set it for trial, set it for trial.
If I had a rock, I would throw it at you right now.
You know,
stop pissing me off.
You see, both men were at loggerheads regarding the defendant's right to waive their right to speedy delivery, but Judge Murphy seemed to take offense to the public defender's tone and arrogance. Rather than talk it out as civilized citizens, both gentlemen chose to iron out their differences in the Stone Age way, taking themselves just from the camera's view.
I'll take care of it. I don't need your help.
No, you know what? I'm the public defender. I have a right to be here.
If you want to fight, let's go out back and I'll just beat your ass.
Believe it or not,
I will catch my breath eventually. Man, I'm an old man.
But surprisingly, the rest of the courtroom felt the public defender had it coming. The clap suggests that everyone in the court enjoyed what just happened. I mean, this is premium content. A judge squaring up to a lawyer? That's not something you see on NBC Sports. After regaining his calmness, the judge continues the court hearing with a significant absence of the public defender, but the incident didn't go unnoticed. A Florida Judicial Commission found Judge Murphy guilty of threatening to commit violence against an assistant public defender, engaging in a physical altercation with counsel, and resuming his docket while defendants were without counsel. Ultimately, the Supreme Court of Florida suspended and removed Judge Murphy from his post. Away from judge and lawyer squabble, we head over to Cuyahoga County Common Pleas Court, Cleveland, Ohio, for the sentencing of serial killer Michael Madison, who was being convicted for 3 counts of aggravated murder for mutilating and killing 3 innocent young women in Ohio. But something rather shocking happened in the courtroom. One of the victim's fathers, Mr. Van Terry, stepped up to the podium to say a thing or two during the sentencing as he hoped to let out some pent-up emotions. Little did anyone expect, including the culprit, that this would be a moment to remember for more than one reason. As Mr. Terry fixed his gaze upon his daughter's killer, the atmosphere crackled with anticipation, and then something truly extraordinary unfolded.
Right now, I guess we're supposed to, in our hearts, forgive this clown who's touched our families, taken my child.
Like a clip from a WWE showdown, Mr. Terry channeled his inner Rey Mysterio, claiming the killer taunted him by winking at him as their eyes met. Mr. Terry was released without charges, but justice had its say as the perpetrator faced the ultimate reckoning: death sentence, condemned to Ohio's unforgiving death row. And since we're talking about sporty events in the courtroom, let's head to Lewis County, Chehalis, Washington, where another Olympic-worthy event occurred. After a court session with 4 defendants, 2 of the defendants, Tanner Jacobson, who was charged with reckless driving, driving with a suspended license, and Cody Howard, charged with second-degree burglary, first-degree trafficking and stolen property, third-degree driving with a suspended license, and 2 warrants for failing to appear in court, and both men don't plan on sticking around until Judge Buzzard, sprang into action. Despite being shackled in handcuffs and sporting prison-issue sandals, both men surprisingly made it to the ground floor. However, fortune didn't favor them, as the one who lost his sandal became the first to be captured before the long arm of the law swooped in and took both men into their cells. Well done, Judge Buzzard. After getting extra charges slapped on their previous charges, they were interrogated to know what they hoped to achieve with such a daring act. Turns out it was just a rush of blood to the head moment, and both men had no detailed plan of how to make it to freedom.
Sitting there on the benches together, and he's like, I'm gonna run.
I said, what am I doing? What did I just do? I gotta go with it now. There's nothing, I can't stop right here.
I just stopped on my own. I'm like, what am I doing right now? It was just a split second, decision. I don't even know why I did it.
If these dudes can navigate through the daunting obstacles of this courtroom and prohibiting measures in a daring escape attempt, they should definitely be scouted for some kind of Olympic sport to proudly represent their country on the global stage. Next, we head to Miami-Dade Bond Court in Miami, Florida, where Judge Mindy Glazer oversees bond hearings. She went through the process pretty routinely until this man stepped forward. Mr. Arthur Booth, a career criminal, was down with multiple charges, and it was good to see he had some sense of humor left in him despite his damning situation. However, his similarly cheerful, optimistic demeanor is about to change.
Hi, Mr. Booth. How are you?
How you doing, ma'am? Okay, ma'am.
You have actually 3 arrest affidavits. Reckless driving, damage to property, leaving the scene of a crash with serious injury.
With no serious injury.
I'm sorry, no serious injury.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Booth, I have a question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you go to Nautilus for middle school?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
I'm sorry to see you there. I always wondered what happened to you, sir.
Oh, my goodness.
This is the nicest kid in middle school.
Oh, my goodness.
He was the best kid in middle school. I used to play football with him, all the kids, and look what has happened. I'm so sorry.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Good luck to you, sir. I hope you're able to come out of this okay and just lead a lawful life.
It was a surprise and rather emotional reunion between 2 former middle school buddies. One chose a life of crime, and the other committed to upholding justice. It's the kind of juicy plotline that even Steven Spielberg would scramble to snatch up faster than you can say action. Apparently, the once bright, promising young lad turned to a life laden with drugs and gambling that led him to petty crime and, ultimately, multiple stays in prison. Regardless, Judge Glazer still has a job to do. We do hope that this emotional experience spurs him to a life of better choices and actions. There you have it, folks. That's our pick for the week. Which one did you find most outrageous? Be sure to let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more awesome content. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.